I'm here for the first day of play. I'm just going to get my camera set up here. Here we go. I'll try and not cover the camera for too long. There we are. And you will be able to see me, hopefully. There we are. Can you hear me? I'm imagining you can. Yes, you can. All right, we're live here, preparing for it will be an amazing day's play. I've got we're eagerly awaiting the toss between India and Australia. Obviously, Robert Sharma will be tossing with Pat Cummins. They'll both be well and truly there, deciding on who will actually play in this blockbuster. That is the first test between India and Australia at Nagpur. Now, there's a lot of conjecture as to team makeups. The facts are that we are looking at a likelihood that Australia will make a few players on debut. India may well as well. It's 37 minutes before kickoff. And okay, so the team news is coming in. There have been 3 caps handed out. Surya Kumar Yadav has got a cap. Kayus Bharat for India, and Todd Murphy. So those 3 have actually been given their new caps, and they will be included in the test side. It suggests this one will turn big, absolutely. And India are looking for impact in a brief window of time. To me, that tells me that we're going to have, it's going to be very interesting because I'm pretty sure we're going to see both Bharat keeping, so that means Rahul, Sky Kumas, and that means that Shubman Gill may not have got a Guernsey. And with Australia, with Todd Murphy's there, you would have to think that if Todd Murphy's there, you would have to think that he will join Nathan Lyon and could well be joining Agar as well. We'll wait and see. Boland is the other player that's likely to be. Don't think Australia's already lost Stark. They've lost Green, and they've lost, on top of it, they've also lost Hazelwood. So it looks like Lance Morris may not have got a Guernsey because he was not given a cap. That's one thing. Agar's already played for Australia, so it wouldn't necessarily be a new cap for him. But yeah, well, they're saying they'd be surprised if Sky would be preferred to Shubman Gill. So that looks like he has been, in fact. So that kind of tells me that the likely side for this match is going to be probably Sharma and Rahul will open still, and you'll have probably at 3. Well, if Shreyas Iyer maybe put up the order, we're not sure where Kohli, probably about 4. Are they going to, or Pujara's there as well? So it's going to be interesting how they go about this team. I mean, with Rahul and Sharma opening, Pujara possibly at 3 with Kohli at 4. It means that Shreyas Iyer may have Sky next to him, depending on no Shankar Shan, Bharat getting the keeping Guernsey, and that will then probably lead to Siraj being the side. Will Akshar Patel get a Guernsey? Jadeja should. It's going to be very interesting. I'm eagerly excited about this particular this Indian side. It seems to me they've got this distinctly a flavour of spin. There's no doubt about it. India are likely to play Ashwin, Jadeja and Patel. Those are the only caps that have been new in the Indian side will be Sky and obviously Bharat as keeper. Bharat's probably the leading keeper, so that's why he's in there. Ishan Kishan's been overlooked. Obviously, Rishabh Pant is still in the injury mode, so that's what the likelihood is. So it's going to be interesting to see. Matthew Hayden's been commenting that they won't go past day 4. Well, I would agree with that. I think you're looking at potentially only a 3-day game. This is going to be spin friendly. Australia would probably prefer to bat first if they win the toss, and you would probably think that's the preference. So There you go. So Ravi Shastri actually handed out the cap to Yadav, and Pujara gave it to Bharat, and Nathan Lyon inducted Murphy. So there's the way that it's panned out. It's interesting how that's a good bit of goss there. Copy. I'll have to put that in there. I think we'll have to go straight to the post there and put a post there of what's going on. So I'm just going to post that. It's going to be interesting. I'd say that there's a very, very good chance we're going to have quite a lineup. So there we are. There we have it. At this stage, we've got some 3 minutes before the toss is given. Bharat will be keeping for India. Sky will be actually in the side, probably in place of Shubman Gill. Shreyas Iyer will still be there, so it'll probably still. The 11 that I'm thinking at this point will definitely have Rahul with Rohit Sharma, 3 Pujara, Kohli 4, Shreyas Iyer 5, Sky 6, 7 Jadeja or Bharat, 8 Ashwin, 9 Jadeja. So 10, 11 of the spots that need to be filled. Siraj is earmarked to come in. Are they going to play Patel? Are they going to go with 3 spinners and the 1 pacer? That's probably what's going to happen, I would say. That will also mean that Australia, in their all likelihood, will probably go with Warner and Khawaja, Labuschagne, then through to Smith 4. Hello there, how are you? Then Smith 4, probably, and 5 will be Head. Well, 6 can't be Green because Green's out. So they will probably look at having Agar in there if he's playing. Okay, and then Carey at 7. We'll have 4 bowlers. We could have Lyon, Murphy as well. And they might throw Boland in with 1 other spare position, which will probably obviously be Cummins. That's my take on the teams at this point. I think that's I would say that's what we're looking at this point in time. And go back to that again. So let's just recap on those. Let's just see if we've got any movement there at all within the. I'm not seeing any movement there in terms of the teams. They're claiming that Gill may still be a chance there. That is the case. Well, if Gill's in, it'll have to be at the expense of Pujara, but that's unlikely, or even Rahul. Interesting to see whether Rahul's been dropped altogether. It's possibly the case. We have a lot of fun in store here. We're now looking at the Australian players out on the field at this point in time. I can see even Daniel Vettori there, Nathan Lyons there. We can see Warner having been in the nets. Steve Smith shadow back boxing or batting, if you like to say. Australia will want to bat first. I think they will definitely want to bat first. Don't you agree? It'll be a day when Australia should bat first if they're going to have any hope of making a game of this, because I think India are specials in Nagpur. There's Ravi Shastri who's there next to the trophy at the moment. Of course, former cricket coach of India, having played for India right up until 1992. We're looking at the toss at the moment. Both Cummins and Rohit Sharma, and Rohit Sharma is the one throwing the toss up. We'll get a bit of a gauge what's going on there. We'll hear now.
You've won the toss. What have you decided?
We're going to have a bat today.
So Australia are batting first.
About the pitch, what do you make of it?
So Australia are batting first.
Pretty even wicket through the middle.
So they won the toss and will bat. So that's the way that's gone.
It's been a while since you've come to India, but a lot of your boys have played a lot of cricket in India, so that will help.
That's
So
it.
Australia
come here every year, at least a couple of times a year. 2017 was a big test
won the
series,
toss.
So we know these conditions well. We know we're going to have to tweak a few things to how we play in Australia.
And
can't wait.
elected
6 months ago, you were in the subcontinent in Pakistan. How much would that do?
to bat.
Yeah, I think it's been really good preparation, not just this last week, but the last 12 months, having a tour to Pakistan.
So Australia won the toss and elected
we
to
learned
bat.
We got the full spectrum of different wickets over there, and yeah, we feel really well placed.
So that's a great sign for Australia.
How has the preparation been? Because
There's
you
not a lot of discussion at the moment about
Yeah,
playing
a few injuries,
selections.
but we feel like we've got a really big squad here who's, all had a little bit of experience. Todd Murphy's on debut today, but he's played a lot of red ball
Todd
cricket.
Murphy is on debut, as we heard. We saw him get the cap.
So what's your side for today's game?
Just two changes from our last Test match in Sydney. Todd Murphy debuts in place of Ashton Agar, and Peter Hanscom comes in for Travis Head.
Okay.
Good game.
Thank you, mate.
So there we have it. Peter Hanscom is in the side in place of Travis Head. Okay, that's Peter Hanscom for Travis Head, and Agar's been replaced by Todd Murphy. There we go.
Nevertheless, we've got a quality bowling. Hopefully we can restrict them to as low as possible.
So it's interesting to see that Travis has been dropped.
Yeah, it looks pretty dry. Obviously, there will be help for some bowlers, particularly spinners.
So Murphy,
But yeah, we got to wait and see how much it
Murphy
does,
for
But yeah, I mean, having
Murphy for Agar now. That
yesterday,
implies Renshaw's in the
we saw
team as
there
well.
was a bit of
That means
seam movement for
Renshaw's in the
stars.
team.
Obviously, there will be some help for the seamers as well up front, and then we'll see.
So Hanscom
assess
for Head,
how the
Murphy
game is
for
going, and
Agar.
then take it from there.
That means Renshaw retains
You've
his
played a
spot.
lot of white ball cricket. You've been
Okay,
here
so
for the last
Renshaw retains his spot. Renshaw retains his spot. So effectively, Renshaw will stay in the side. So the Australian lineup will predominantly be. I think the Australian lineup will probably then be Khawaja. Khawaja will open with Warner. You'll have Labuschagne at 3, Smith at 4.
And I was just going to ask, what's the mood in the dressing room? Because India,
Then
Australia.
you'll have either Renshaw in or Hanscom, followed by Carey. Then you'll have the likes of Nathan Lyon, Todd Murphy in place of Agar, Boland and Cummins. So there's your 11, I think, just about.
Because it's a long series.
It's going to be very, very
one thing at a
interesting.
time is important for us. So we'll try and focus on, how we can get them out, and then see what happens after that.
And your team for today?
Yeah, we've got 3 spinners, 2 seamers, 2 guys making debut, KS Bharat and Surya Kumar Yadav.
Have a good one, Rohit.
Thank you very much.
So 3 spinners and 2 paces.
That's the news from the centre.
Sky and
Australia
we had Barrett
and
as
they've
well.
had no hesitation in batting first.
Okay, there we have it. So confirmed is that Renshaw's still in. That means Hanscom's coming for Head, which I'm not going to comment too lately, but I'm not a huge Head fan. So Hanscom's in place of Head. And then you've got Agar out, and of course Todd Murphy goes in. So they've actually not opted for a left arm spinner. They've gone for 2 right arm off spinners effectively. And that's interesting. They've got a lot of faith in Todd Murphy, obviously. And that will mean that, it's going to be an interesting. So Sky is in place of. Well, Sky is in place of who was the question. They had 3 spinners and 2 paces. That means they've got Ashwin, Jadeja, and Axar Patel, and probably Shami and Siraj. That's 5. Keeper Bharat 6. Then you've got 5 batters. You've got Rohit Sharma, Rahul, Pujara, and then you've got Kohli. And Sky in as the 5th batter on the base of what we've just heard. Does that mean that Shreyas Iyer is not on the team? Or Rahul? Well, I think that's confirmed actually. I have to look at that quite closely because it's a big news. Yeah. So the teams are, I have actually got the teams now. Rohit Sharma, Rahul, Pujara, Virat, Sky, Bharat, Jadeja, Ashwin, Patel, Shami and Siraj. I'll repeat that. Rohit Sharma, Rahul, Pujara, Virat Kohli, Sky, Yadav that is. Bharat is keeping at 6, quite high in the order. 7 is Jadeja, 8 is Ashwin, 9 is Patel, 10 is Shami, 11 is Siraj. Effectively then the Australian side is quite similar to what it was before. We have Warner, Khawaja, Labuschagne, Smith, Renshaw and Hanscom. So no Head. Alex Carey, Pat Cummins, Lyon, Todd Murphy and bowling. So very, very, very interesting batting. The big news is that Travis is not playing. And, all my loving friends out there will probably get quite angry with me because I'll say I told you so. And Travis Head is proven not to be good in these conditions, I'm afraid. Travis Head is not good in these conditions. He's not renowned for playing in these conditions, so I'm not totally surprised about that at all. And I'm not going to underplay that, but I'm not surprised. So there's my word on that. So it'll be interesting to see what will transpire. We've heard Ravi Shastri talk. Ravi Shastri gave the cap, of course, to the likes of he gave the cap to, well, not to Bharat. I think it was Ravi Shastri gave that to Bharat. I think Pujara gave it to Sky, and of course Nathan Lyon gave it to Todd Murphy because kind of a bit of a successor into the whole thing. It's going to be interesting to see what takes place. So Nagpur is going to prove to be exactly what we thought. One hell of a place to watching cricket. There's a lot to be said about this particular performance. I'm very, very happy about the selections. I think there's been some superb selections, to be really honest with you. I think we're in for a real treat. No doubt we're in for a real treat here, guys. It's going to be exciting as hell. Let's see how we go. We're live here for the Nagpur test. The first test, that is. It's quite an exciting moment indeed. I'm very, very excited. I'm looking at the photos that we've got on deck here. We've got some magnificent photos of Labuschagne in the nets. We had Steve Smith in the nets. We had Dave Warner looking like he's batting right-handed in the nets, and then left-handed. So, if I'm being honest with you, I think the Australian side is pretty damn good. I haven't got any issues with the Australian side at all. I think we've got Todd Murphy. Obviously, there's a lot being read into his ability, and rightfully so, because he is a bit of a rising star for Australia. We'll just see how much of a rising star he actually is. His Agar's dropped. Travis Head, now mark my words, I did not think he would be, I thought he would fail in this particular series miserably, and it looks like they've listened to that call, not just from me, but from everybody. He is too much of a risk. He does not bat well in the subcontinent, and Peter Handscomb does. It's quite impressive. They've given faith in him, and Matthew Renshaw. So they've really given some real steel in that lower middle order, which could be significant, especially in the circumstances. And okay, we'll leave that one. No idea who that is. Okay. So we've got the images there of 2, 3, 4, and 5. It's certainly going to be an amazing effort. Brendan Julian is talking. Here we go. This is extremely exciting. This is now probably the premier. There's a lot of people discussing with me that is the Border Gavaskar Trophy, the BGT, is that effectively more significant than the Ashes series? Now, traditionally, historically, you would say no, but I'm not going to discount it anymore, because the amount of excitement about this series is immense. Both of these teams will actually end up playing in the World Test Championship. Everything goes to plan, so it's really, really massive, a massive situation indeed. It's very, very impressive. It's just a bit unusual. So Australia's team, as we said, was Khawaja and Warner. Labuschagne at 3, Smith 4, Renshaw at 5, Handscomb at 6, Carey at 7, Cummins at 8, captain, Todd Murphy on debut, 9, Lyon and Boland. So Australia's bowling attack is Boland, Lyon, Murphy and Cummins. I wouldn't say we have not got Travis Head there, so it implies that Labuschagne may get a bowl. I don't know whether Handscomb can bowl, but it's going to be interesting to see what batting right-handed. The Indian team is quite impressive. I've actually selected 5 bowlers the three spinners, as in, of course, Jadeja and Ashwin, who both can bat, Patel, who can actually bat as well, Shami and Siraj, that's 5. Bharat, who's obviously a good keeper and can bat quite handsomely as well. I would argue that I would argue that they got a bit of bowling on it by far. A lot of pressure on Todd Murphy, a lot of pressure on his first match. He's now really gone right into the front line bowling. So here we go. Rahul and Sharma opening. Pujara, Kohli, Sky in at 5. So no Shreyas Iyer. Okay. Bharat also, he's number 6. So then he got effectively 5 bowlers. But Patel, Jadeja and Ashwin can all bat. And then you got Shami and Siraj. So you would argue that the I reckon that the question is, why are they picking another off spinner? Very good question. Obviously, we've got a situation there where there's a lot of faith being placed in Todd Murphy. Clearly, Todd Murphy is certainly clearly given a lot more credit than we believe him to be, and he is a great player. So it's bloody overcast. No pitch controversy. Look, I'm going to make this really clear up front. There's no such thing as controversy here about the pitch. Why am I saying there's no controversy? Because the fact is, the pitch is in India, and Indians will favour their players. Very much respected. Australia puts green tops at the Gabba or the Wacker or whatever ground that Optus Stadium. They've got green tops. So green tops means what? It means one thing. It means fast bowling is suited, which is Australia's forte. We do it too. England has pitches where it's the seam wing wickets, and there's a lot of swing. It suits their pitches, their conditions, and they do the same thing. South Africa has fast bowling pitches. New Zealand has a mixture of swing and the like as well. Why are we so shocked about this? Why are we bagging the Indians having what looks like a so-called doctored pitch? I'm sick of it. Would you guys just belt up and just let it be? This is a pitch which both teams have to play on. It's not like India are not playing on it. Australia are. It is a very crucial toss to win for Australia. It is a very crucial toss for Australia to win. For them to bat first is important, because bowling for the second will be an advantage. But then they haven't got, Norman's laughing here because Travis Head's been dropped. Well, he's been dropped not because I don't like him. It's because he is not appropriate for these conditions. He's not performed in the subcontinent at all. So a man that scored a lot of runs in Australia doesn't guarantee him scoring runs in it. And they've realised that, and I'm very impressed with the Australian selectors for doing that. Hanscom, a noted spin bowling, a batter who bats well against spin bowling, and Renshaw, who has probably deserved his in a position for some time, are both in there. Now, I'm particularly happy with that. I think that is a plus to the Australian side, not a negative. Even though Travis Head has got great form, he might be the next captain. If he can't play in the subcontinent, then he shouldn't be selected. Great decision. Khawaja and Smith are certainties to do well. Labuschagne's a bit of a question mark about him on the subcontinent grounds, and to a certain extent Warner, although he does like his IPL. So let's just see what the story is there. Let's see what pans out. At this point in time, I mean, I'm not worried about anything at all. Certainly not going to be copyright claim for my effort here today, because I'm the one talking and it's my content. And I'm a little bit peeved about that whole thing. I won't go into that with anyone at the moment, which does annoy me a little bit. Anyway, we are looking at a situation here where toss had different plans. Australia was bat, yeah. Okay, I think India would have batted too. The pitch to me, looking at it now, certainly a bit of a crack here or there, and one end of it looks a bit of a shade of green there. It's an Indian wicket. It's India. Belt up and accept it. I'm telling you now. I mean, I don't really want it to be able to judge this whole thing at all. So I'm not worried about it at this point at all. I'm not seeing this as a problem. I think it'll be it'll be a while before we can judge this, but I think we've got a great situation here. Dave Warner's test average is 24.25 in India and 58.39 in Australia. That says it all. Dave Warner's test average is 24.25 in India and 58.39 in Australia. I'd say Travis Head would be a similar spell as well, could be placed over that. So I don't know whether we've got much going on there in terms of this. I think that Warner's going to be tested on these conditions. There's no doubt about that at all, I'm afraid. Come to India. So I'm trying to. This is my mother passed away last June. There's something called probate where you have to go about sorting out assets such as property and the like. That was brought down by the courts last week, and I have to go through some legalities and some bank matters. And then when I'm free of all that, I'm flying, and I'm going to be flying to Ahmedabad and certainly Dharamshala. Delhi's doubtful, and of course I'm not there in Nagpur. But then there'll be the ODIs, and then there'll be some. March and April will be back at home. Then I'll be there for the IPL. I'll be there for ultimately the June 7th World Test Championship in England, followed by the Ashes, then onto the World Cup later in the year. So I'll be travelling. Unfortunately, I just can't do it at this moment in time. So we'll be. I'm not absolutely right. Are you happy with the choice of the two spinners, the Australian two spinners? Well, Nathan Lyon, he cannot be ignored. He's been the best bowler for Australia for some time in that department. Todd Murphy, they're seeing something in him. They're giving him a go. I applaud that. Agar, I feel a bit frustrated because I think he should have been the addition to the team, not out. So the only changes they've made is that this is the test match that they had against South Africa in Sydney, which was light on bowlers by only 4 bowlers. Renshaw's retained his place, head out, Hanscom in, which I'm very impressed about. And the other player that's come in, of course, is Murphy for Agar. Had Murphy stayed with Agar, you may not have seen Hanscom. So the choice was whether to leave Agar in and Murphy and then take Head out, or bring Hanscom in. Now, the fact that Head's not there, even though I'm not the biggest fan of him in the subcontinent, he is in fact a bowler. So they are, you would argue, a bowler short now. Now, I'm not aware of Hanscom's ability to bowl. There, of course, Labuschagne can throw a few balls over. The 4 that they've got, Boland, Cummins, Murphy and Lyon, are going to be doing a hell of a lot of bowling. So, yeah, that's very interesting. Hanscom, Renshaw, I'm not sure. Steve Smith, well, he can throw a ball. There's not a lot of options there for the Australian bowling attack. Realistically, Murphy, Lyons, Boland and Cummins, they're the 4 bowlers they've got. And really, they've got 3, 6, 7 batsmen, including Carey as the keeper. So that tells me that they're very concerned about the depth of their batting. Whereas India have got 5 bowlers, but 3 of them are spinners, which they can all bat. Agar is one that may have been the tipping point. I would have probably have put Agar ahead of Hanscom, meaning that Murphy would have just been added to the bowling attack and Head dropped. And of course, that would have been my change. And I think that's where we may have don't forget, they haven't got Green, which I know for a fact that Cummins was particularly not happy with. Very much not happy with that at all. He was very concerned about the lack of, they know how much that's going to hurt them. I'm just going to turn the lights on here, guys. It's getting very dark here. It's not late at all, by the way, but it's just bloody dark. Jesus. Okay, now you'll see me better. It's overcast and raining, and I don't think there'll be any hope of us going anywhere, to be honest. All right, so in Australia it's 9 minutes to 3, so 2:51, and in India it's fast approaching 9:30. Okay, well, in fact 10, I should say. Is it 10? What time is it in there? It's 9:30, isn't it? It's a 9:30 start. So for those of you who are not aware, we've had some selections. I'll repeat the names in the team so we know. The fact is we have an Indian, so we'll go through so let's have a look here. The Australian team who are batting first. So Australia, Robert Sharma threw the toss. Pat Cummins called, I'm guessing he called heads. He won the toss and he elected to bat, which is an advantage, a small advantage to Australia. They have in their lineup Warner and Khawaja as expected, Labuschagne Smith as expected. Matt Renshaw retains his spot from the last match, and Peter Handscomb comes in place of Travis Head. Alex Carey is at 7. Cummins, Lyon, Murphy, Boland is the 4. And realistically, Cummins, Boland, Lyon and Murphy will be the 4 bowlers. And I don't think Handscomb or Renshaw bowl, and Smith, well, he hasn't bowled for a long time, and realistically it's only Labuschagne who can be the 5th bowler. That's a bit of a surprise. Both captains have unsurprisingly noted the dryness of the service, although Rowett perfect, perhaps hopefully noted that there's been some movement, seam movement in training, okay, because he's got 2 paces as well. So the crucial difference in the 2 sides are India has 3 out-and-out spinners. Australia has 2 with Labuschagne. So Australia have opted for more batsmen and less bowlers, effectively. 7 batters and 4 bowlers. India have got 6 batters and 5 bowlers, but out of the 5 bowlers, Jadeja and Ashwin are capable batters, and Akshar Patel also is a capable batter. Shami and Siraj perhaps not. So Rohit Sharma, Rahul, Pujara, Kohli and Sky with Bharat. Now that's a very good batting lineup, albeit you would argue maybe 1 short. You would argue, but Jadeja and Ashwin certainly make up for that. No Shreyas Iyer, no Shubman Gill. Okay, so there's some notable exclusions. And again, the ones with the new caps, India have 2, both Sky and Bharat. Australia only has the 1, that is, of course, Todd Murphy. Peter Handscomb has played before for Australia, so obviously Renshaw has also not only recently. Yeah, it's interesting. Handscomb's made his way back because we're talking about India here. And Head must be very upset, but you know what? I predicted that he wouldn't do well in this series. I actually thought that he would struggle and would not. He has not performed in India, or for that matter, Sri Lanka and even Pakistan. Those subcontinent pitches have not suited Travis Head. But that's well and straight. Well, again, the same for Dave Warner. Dave Warner has an batting average around 25, I think it was 28 or thereabouts in India, and only there it's a very low batting average. In Australia, 58. Good morning today. They're not going. Okay, so I can see Brett Lee with Brendan Julian on our commentary with Brad Haddon. Mark Waugh's actually physically in India there as well. We're on Sky. Not Sky, we're on Foxtel. There'll be various carriers there in India. So it's going to be a very interesting series. Okay, I think with only some 5 minutes to go, Australia's batting lineup should Dooley have toured to India. So Dooley, who I'm just trying to work out who Dooley is. Okay, they're all going out at the moment. I can see Rohit Sharma letting out his team with Rahul. Sky's there, Bharat's there. Australia's got their team there with Handscomb will be very happy. The outfield is very green. There's patches, but it looks quite green. They're going out for the so-called national anthems now. I can't see all these comments. When your comments, they only flash up for a second. God. So today, Gill is not in 11 years. That's right. Shubman Gill is not in the playing 11, nor is Shreyas Iyer. And Shreyas Iyer's been around as well. I'm not sure whether he's injured or what the story is with Shreyas Iyer, but the Indian batting lineup, and we'll go through it again for those that are just joining us now. Travis Head's not playing. That's the big thing. Australia won the toss and batted. So effectively, Rohit Sharma as captain is opening with Rahul, Pujara at 3, Kohli at 4, Surya Kumar Yadav or Sky is at 5, 6 is Bharat, 7 is Alex Carey. Not Alex Carey, sorry. 7 is Ravindra Jadeja. My apologies. 8 is Ashwin Patel. 9, Shami and Siraj at 10 and 11. I'm looking at the Australian lineup there. I can see Todd Murphy must be bloody proud. He was under 9. And Agar exclusion is a good decision. I don't think Agar's exclusion is a good decision, by the way. I think maybe they could have done without Handscomb. That means Head should have been dropped and had Agar retain his position. I think the fact that Australia's got 2 spinners. Now, Todd Murphy, it's going to be for a baptism of fire. He's He's the 420. No, that's Cummins. Yeah, so Todd Murphy's in there. I tell you what, he must have impressed because he's in the Australian side. He's leapfrogged Agar, and we will see whether that's going to be effective. Okay, and in case of the Australian side, Warner, Kawaja, Abashane 3, obviously 4 will be Smith, 5 is now going to be Renshaw and Hanscom at 6, with no head. Carey 7, 8 Cummins, 9 Line, Murphy 10, and Boland 11. So as I suggested to you, Travis said, I've been saying for some time, his subcontinent form has been atrocious. Not once, not twice, I think 3 times he's not performed well there. And Australia have realised that. And even though he's batted well in Australia, he needs to be horses for courses. And I do applaud the selection of someone other than head in the side, namely Hanscom. Although I would have preferred Agar to have kept his position and to be 3 spinners and 2 pacers. As have India. India have put Jadeja, Patel, and Ashwin all together with Shami and Siraj, and those 3 can bat. We know that Ashwin can bat. We know Jadeja can bat. Axar Patel can bat. We know that Agar can bat. Todd Murphy, I don't really know whether he's that good a batter. Nathan Lyon's pretty ordinary, but they probably needed Agar in there to bat and bowl. They needed a 5th bowling option, and that's probably going to be the Achilles heel for Australia. I believe very strongly that that will be an Achilles heel for Australia. They will not have enough bowlers. They're only going to have 4 bowlers, with Labuschagne as a 5th. Please tell India and Pakistan better team all form, please. Okay, what do you want me to say there? India and Pakistan, I love to see them play in all the matches. And it looks like the baggy got Indian caps there. Okay, so is there any other news? As we said, the national anthem has been sung. Smith has already padded up. Not that he's hoping that the other 3 fail, but they're saying if you were Travis said he'd be shattered. He's been the best performing batter in Australia by far. In Australian conditions, and I'll repeat, in Australian conditions, he has been there. So here we are, we've got Warner and Kawaja walking out to bat. And a significant moment for Warner. He's done well in Australia recently, so has Kawaja. Kawaja is well performed on subcontinent pitches. Sri Lanka, Pakistan, he's batted very well as here. So Warner's batted, he's had 185 innings for 8,132 runs, an average of 46.20, very commendable, 34 50s and 25 hundreds. There's nothing wrong with that record, but it's 58, 59 in Australia and 20 odd mid-20s in India. So that's a bit of a discrepancy. So Warner certainly deserves to be here. In the case of Kawaja, we're about to see his numbers come up. Please don't, okay, I can't reply physically on the screen, but I'll get to it in a minute. Okay, Kawaja has had 99 innings. This will be his 100th innings. He scored 4,162 runs, average of 47.84, so he's a touch better than what we've got with good old Warner. I'm looking at Mohammad Shami, has had 216 wickets and 61 tests, average 27. Okay, so go back and have a look at Kawaja. Kawaja scored 1300s and 1950s. $1,300 and 1950s is what Kawaja has. And here we are, Shami coming in to bowl the first ball. Pretty lame ball. Burrett, the keeper, his first touch as a test keeper. Shami's first ball was nice red seam. And we've lost a few people there. Not having a good day here. Not having a good day at all. Thankfully nothing broke. Sorry guys. I'm still here. Okay? Hang on guys, just give me a sec. Alright, so Australia none for 2 at the moment. That's pretty good. Don't go guys, we just had a bit of a glitch here. Everyone's gone. There we are. Okay, we're back. Okay, it's just had a momentary glitch. So, with of course, Travis Head, 12th man. Lance Morris, Agar, Hazelwood, Sweps and Green are in the selection. So, Mitchell Stark's not there at all. Is he? This is interesting. The 17, must be an 18th spot, which is Mitchell Stark, because he's not there. I would have liked to have seen, yeah, I don't think that's, let's have a look at the Indian selection time. They've got, Shubman Gill was 12th man. Ishan Kishan, Kolev, Umesh Yadav, and Jadev Unadkat was also in the 7-16. So, who were they? Shubman Gill can count himself a little bit unlucky, I'd say. What would you say, guys? Unlucky, I'd say. So I'm just going to see what the story is. So Siraj has taken some 46 wickets in a fairly short career. Well, a bit of swing there, and there's a lot of carry on there in the first delivery of an LBW against. They're saying quite confidently that he's out. They're saying Khawaja's out. It'd be interesting to see what actually is said here. Australia's very first delivery could have a result that Australia would not want. Oh, it's low. It's low on the pad. Let's see. There's no sign of any bat there. It's actually pitched in line, hitting, not out. He's out. Khawaja has actually been dismissed. Khawaja has been given out. LBW to Siraj, first ball of Siraj's innings. That's not the start that we wanted to see from Khawaja. Khawaja is out for what? I'm just going to check. He just got in the line, just in line, and Khawaja is out. It's a big start. Siraj is very happy. First ball swung quite a bit back into the bat. Was taken leg stump. Is LBW for 1. Oswald Khawaja, LBW, bowled Siraj for 1 off 3 balls. Bashane is in very early. So they've got some batting depth, don't forget. They've definitely got some batting depth going on. So Labuschagne coming in very early. It was scored 1 for 2. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what takes place here. Bit of pressure on Labuschagne. Certainly some pressure on Labuschagne. And Khawaja bit unlucky. The umpire had given him that, but actually he hit in line and went on in line, and it wasn't just a hairline decision that he was out. Well, Kawaja will be a little bit shell-shocked there. Although Kawaja's too good a bat to be discounting because of that, I'll tell you that right now. My SCG11 handle. Let me just. Warner also on one. Kawaja was on one. Both on. Labuschagne. Ball's not carrying through to the keeper. But Siraj is getting some nice shape. It's a good bowler. So they're replaying the ball. It's just hitting impact in line. Okay, so he's out. Not what we were expecting. Carroll's Rahul Dar was very happy. Quite a significant one. That's why I love it. It's like Henry Hunt. Well, Henry Hunt's, yeah, well, he's not there at this point, and he hasn't been earmarked, so Siraj's haircut's quite spiffy. Siraj had a nice shape on it, very nice shape, but it came back in it, but it didn't, it held its line sufficiently. It just got at that leg stump. Difficult ball to play early on in your innings. There's no doubt about that. Indeed. Your favourite Indian player, my favourite Indian player, Rahul. No, not Rahul, sorry. Kohli, clearly Kohli. I like Robert Sharma. Pujara on his day can be a lot of fun too. Robert Sharma's ecstatic, so is Rahul Dravid. Warner's still there. Warner's not known to be good in these conditions. Realistically, Labuschagne isn't either. How are you? Good morning. How are you? It's morning here. It's actually afternoon here. Hazelwood's there with Andrew McDonald and Divinuta's sitting there as well. Good morning. Good morning. Bahev Prasteep. It's a good ball again to Labuschagne. Labuschagne. Replay of the, what is it, the replay of the dismissal? No, that ball's just beaten. Oh, ball kept low. Siraj is getting some very nice shape. And bowling, my bowling favourite, well, Siraj is still after the moment, but I mean, Ashwin Jadeja, you can't beat their records. They're great bowlers for India. Siraj has come out of the blocks firing, hasn't he? Getting a nice bit of shape away. How are you? I am very good. I'm sitting here, what is actually daytime, but it seems like nighttime because it's fairly dark out there. It's Labuschagne and Warner, the unlikely pairing that they are to be. I didn't think we had them in there. We do. We have a snake. Shami's on now. Haven't even seen Ashwin Jadeja and Patel yet. Warner looks nervous. Warner looks nervous. And Warner has just been bowled neck and crop by Shami. Warner has been cleaned up neck and crop. Shami's clean bowled Warner around the wicket. Warner out for one. Warner and Kawaja both out for one. Australia 2 for 2. Labuschagne with Smith. This is a disastrous start for Australia. Ball kept its line and Warner was nowhere near it. Warner was extremely late. Played well after the ball. Wow. Australia in a mess. 2 for 2. Warner 1. Kawaja 1. Warner was much worse dismissal. He was bowled comprehensively just then. Shami and Siraj have both taken wickets here. Steve Smith out there very early. Indeed. With his New Balance bat. Australia 2 for 2. Can't be seen as impressive. Let's watch a bit further. I was going to leave it at that, but here we are. Siraj's on fire, Shami's on fire. They certainly are. Both have taken comprehensive wickets. Well, Shami's magnificent delivery, cleaned him completely. Oh, in fact, Smith got a healthy leg glance to that. Has gone right through for forwards. Was it a chance of a catch? No, I don't think so. 2 for 6. Shami's got one. No, I don't actually know. In fact, it's just gone. It doesn't look like Smith got anything on that. The ball's just careered down the leg side, swung immeasurably. Punch got past the bat, and that's 4 byes. Barrett wouldn't be happy with that. Again, that's swung too. Oh my God, they kept very low. Oh, lucky to get a glove on that. Swung, kept low, and went away from him. Quite a difficult one. So Warner's, it's come through, and Warner has not had any idea. He's played very, very late. Well, they're claiming there's an inside edge on that. His bat came down late anyway. I don't think it mattered about that inside edge. It was through him. Absolutely through him. Absolutely through him. Ball certainly keeping low. Off stump, went flying. Thunder here in Sydney. Bloody awful. 2 wickets falling very quickly here in Australia, or in India, I should say. There's not enough going on here to reflect I'm just not able to check this. Last 60 minutes, let's say, and it's just come in. Live preview, here we go. It matches in Australia, I know that. Well, where did you get that from? Okay. So at this point in time, Shami's just really nailed it here. Labuschagne looks a bit shaky as well. Mohammad Siraj. Good delivery. And Labuschagne's just hit the ball down the ground for 4. Labuschagne, you would argue, is not, really Good shot there from Labuschagne under the circumstances. He's had to keep his line there. Siraj is certainly bowling well. A bit full there. So Australia 2 for 10 after 3.2 overs. Steve Smith's record, 163 innings, 8647 runs, average of 60.89, 37 50s and 30 hundreds. He would be he's not out up to 5 deliveries, having one then leg side which went for 4, which was in fact buyers. Labuschagne 4 off 7, having hit a tidy drive down the ground there. Arrowth is best to say, Norman, please drop Warner. Well, he's got a lot of runs in the domestic season, Australian season, so it's going to be hard to drop quickly. Bloke is rubbish. Well, he is starting to reach his final years. He's got Renshaw back in the side now. He can open. I think this could well be Warner's last year anyway. I think by next summer, good chance he will be commentating and not playing. Labuschagne's getting away with balls on the ground there, sneaking through the slips for 4. He moves to 8, score 2 for, I think, 18, I'm not wrong, or 14. 2 for 4 after 3.4 overs. He squeezed that out. It wasn't a great shot. Bowling well. Shami and Siraj are both bowling particularly well, both having taken early wickets in the first over. Siraj is bowling particularly well. Shami is as well. The combinations are pretty damn good. Yeah, with Bowen, Lyon, Murphy, Cummins, the Australian bowling attack, then that's it. Hanscom, Renshaw, and they're not known for playing bowlers, only Labuschagne maybe. In the Indian side, though, Siraj, Shami, Patel, Ashwin, Jadeja, all top-line bowlers. And so they got more than enough there. The Indian team looks actually better on paper than the Australian team. We are one bowler short. Oh, that was a good delivery. Coming up to an hour's worth of viewing that you've had with me. Thanks to those that have stayed around. Beautiful delivery. Lovely length, nice bit of away movement and swing. Curve at least. Very impressive, this Siraj. Not a good morning for Australia, but perhaps not. And just Pintura, Smith's got his first couple of runs. Well, Australia are 2 for 16 into the 5th over now. Again, Australia have got 4 bowlers as opposed to India's 5. Australia have Bowen, Lyon, Murphy and Cummins, and that's it. Hanscom, Renshaw, I would say no. Labuschagne maybe. Then India have got Ashwin, Jadeja, Patel, along with Shami and of course Siraj, who all look good now. Hansman's got his walk around there. I would assume that next batter in is Renshaw. Not forgetting he had COVID when he last played. How can we let's do this? that's a competent drive from Smith. They needed that. Competent indeed. I'm going to have a review of the day's play with David Gravely and Chris Vernon. I'll be coming up just towards the end of the first day's play. So stay tuned for that. Come back for that. Straight at 2 for 20. Show me bowling good line length. Labuschagne on 8, Smith on 6. Yeah, Khawaja unfortunately was definitely LBW. Beautiful ball. It just kept this line enough to collect the leg stump. Warner, neck and crop. Todd Murphy, well, let's see how good he is in the scheme of things. Is he going to be another find? $25 minutes for the play. Australia 2 for 20. Smith 6, Labuschagne 8. Both Khawaja and Warner on 1. Warner had no idea. Let's be honest. Oh, that ball came in and kept him honest. Yeah, here we go, 2 down, that's true. So it picked Khawaja's wicket, certainly did. Yeah, they got Stark, Green, and obviously Hazelwood out. And dropped Agar. I should have added Murphy on and left hands come out, would have been my opinion. They've opted for an extra batter when they only got 4 bowlers. That's just not enough. I'll tell you what. Well, then, Renshaw's left-hander, so is Head. Hanson's a right-hander, yes. Two for 24, we're into the 6th over now. I reckon an hour's play has to go by, we can be sure. Not forgetting I will be on after the show, after the day's play, with David Gravely and Chris Vernon looking back over this day's play. And we'll be looking into the England-New Zealand series starting next week. And ultimately the Ashes, the World Test Championship. There's a few things we can talk about. It's the Australian playing it. Well, we got one of the 17 innings, Khawaja, Labuschagne, one each. 13 Smith. It must be tests in India. The most capped tests in India is Warner, or innings wise at least. Good ball from Siraj. Very certainly testing. There's none about that. Can't get on the main board here. Jim, funny, I wanted to let you know that my dad recently passed away. Oh, he had struggled with, oh, it's so sad. Jim's lost his dad. That's sad. I didn't know that. That's really sad. Very sad. How did I find that? I'm going to get that again. Oh, that's right, they lost. Okay. So 2 for 25. Ball certainly darting in and darting away. There's a lot of low movement on this pitch. Very, to look at, it's going to be interesting how the ball goes with spin as well. So Australia after 6 overs at 2 for 25. Smith on 6, Labuschagne on 13. Both Siraj and Shami have both picked up the 1 wicket. How are we going time-wise? About half an hour into today's play. It's very interesting to see that they're changing the bowling already after half an hour's play. Shami and Siraj have done very, very well. They're both taking wickets. Jadeja has come on as the first change bowler ahead of Ashwin and Patel. It'll be interesting to see how Jadeja, he's had 61 matches with 242 wickets. Great average 24.7. Bloody impressive. Not forgetting he can bat really well as well, and he can obviously, he's an amazing fielder. So a lot to be said about Jadeja, and he's a lot of confidence in his ability, bringing him into the team. He takes a lot of wickets, and it'll be interesting how he goes. Smith and Khawaja both out for 1. He's 43. Oh, first ball. First ball he bowls. In and out. On Labuschagne smiling me the ear here because the first ball, let's have a look what happens here. It spins immediately. Good to see you live. Get on here. I'm live well and truly. Oh my God, that was a good first ball. Very, very good first ball. Australia would be certainly somewhat concerned here, you'd think. No. Okay. We might get going. Okay, this is going to be an epic series. It certainly is. It's gripping already. We've only been in the first half an hour's play. Australia 2 for 25, wickets have fallen, dramas here. Australia having to struggle like all hell. Australia going to be up against it. Australia's got really, really no hope winning this. They're not going to win this test match. Why? Because they've got 4 bowlers. They've started, even though they won the toss and batted, which is commendable, they've only got 4 bowlers. Unless Todd Murphy plays a miracle, he can't do it all himself, and Lyon can't do it himself. You've only got Cummins and Boland to bowl. Otherwise, it's 4 bowlers. Why would you not have a 5th bowling option? Green was the key to that, and he's not in the team. They didn't get a like for like. They've actually opted for Hanscom to come in, who doesn't bowl, as far as I'm aware, and Agar can bat. So if I had to choose between Agar or Hanscom, I would probably have gone for Agar. Why? Because he bowls, and he bats quite. He can even open the innings if needed. Whereas Hanscom, I'm pretty sure he can't bowl. Yeah, Labuschagne can bowl, but he's not good enough to be a 5th bowler in the side. That's my opinion. Well, not only are they bringing on Jadeja on one end in terms of first ball, they're bringing immediately on Axar Patel has come on to bowl the 7th or 8th over. So Jadeja bowled the 7th, and now we've got Patel in bowling 8. Now, he can be lethal in India. We know that. He absolutely tore England apart one year. I'll never forget that. And Khaleesi did the same here. Axar Patel's a real danger. And then, of course, he's 29 at Axar Patel. You've also got the magical Ashwin is still the bowl, so he's probably going to 9 matches, 47 wickets. I think Siraj had, 46 after 16, so it's a better performance. Axar Patel has definitely taken a lot of wickets. What I'm saying is trying to be aggressive. You've got to give him that benefit of the doubt there, I think. Touch short from Patel. A little bit short. You've got full view of the Australian players, and there's Cole. There's actually looking through a bit wayward there from Sell. Down the line bench really there, but Matt Renshaw's in next. No COVID issue this time. Well, I've shown 13, Smith 6, the score 2 for 26 into the 8th over. So just over 3 runs and over, which is not anything to get too excited about. Barrett given the keeping duties over Rishabh Pant. Obviously Rishabh Pant's injured, or had a serious car accident, could well have died. Australia have started very badly at being 2 for 2. Hanging on now. I think we'll have to see a few wickets fall. All right, guys, what we're going to do now is it's now 2 for 26. 2 for 26 after 8 overs. And Australia are in a bit of bother. What the hell? Sorry guys, I had a bit of blustery occurrence. Give me a sec, guys. rainstorm hitting. Yeah. Massive rainstorm. Not good weather here. 2:26 into the night. Smith 6, Labuschagne 3rd time. That's a mistake. Striders. Back on right away, which is interesting. So I go Jadeja and over with Axel Patel. Back straight on with Siraj. I'm not sure what's going on there. Matthew Hayden. Oh my God. Siraj is bowling very, very well. Man of the match will be an Indian player. And I would dare say someone like Jadeja. Well, Siraj, why he's playing at the moment, Jesus, he's bowling well. They got me down to oh, 1, 2. It's amazing. Shami's extremely happy out of it. Siraj has a real attitude about his whole way that he does things. It's magnificent to watch. Hanscom is preparing with, of course, Hanscom's there as well with, Hanscom is there with Renshaw waiting to bat. So Australia lost 2 wickets very quickly. Lost the wicket of Khawaja. First ball from Siraj. So far, the faster bowls are certainly causing more headaches, if you ask me. Although Jadeja's first ball is a beauty. So 2 for 26 after 9 overs, so they've gone below 3 now. Labuschagne 13, Smith on 6. They've been on those for a while. Axel had a maiden in his first over. He's back on. So Jadeja was only on for the 1 over. Not sure whether there was a change of ends or what was going on there. Wicket of Smith and Labuschagne will be the most important. Smith certainly, Labuschagne, it depends, but Smith certainly is a wicket. Don't discount Renshaw. Renshaw can bat. Khawaja was a prize wicket so far. Khawaja could well have been the most significant wicket to have been taken today. Well, a bit uppish from Labuschagne. A bit uppish. Axel Patel been a bit wayward, so he hasn't gone for any runs, but a little bit wayward. Ooh, That certainly kept low and kept coming back onto the stumps. I don't know what, I mean, so to me, India have got two left arm bowlers, Patel and Jadeja. Australia dropped the one left arm bowler they've got in Agar. Maybe a mistake. I think it would have been better off having Agar left in there and Hanscom not on the side and had been dropped. India are persisting with two left-arm bowlers, and that's commendable. Patel's on that. Jadeja only had what appeared to be the one over. Yeah, it's themselves swinging and then and kept going. It didn't go nearly as much as expected. Okay, subweight group of learning. 2 for 27. This is, I think he's fourth or fifth over. I think maybe doing his fifth. Smith 6, Labuschagne 14. Both Khawaja and Warner 1 each, and then there were sundries for the rest. Certainly 4 buys, and I think maybe another buy. Shubman Gill would be considered a little bit unlucky. Yeah, a little bit unlucky for sure. Having Bharat and Rahul on the side, interesting. Siraj is looking very good. How do you think Siraj? I think it's a good guy's a good player. Shreyas Iyer, I'm not sure what's going on there. Is he injured? I thought he was the incumbent in the side. I don't know what's going on there. And showing the hat giving. Pujara did give the cap to Bharat, or to Sky. Let's have a look in. No, he gave the Sky. Pujara did give the cap to Bharat. Bharat will be very happy with that. His whole family is there. Into the second hour here. He's keeping, I guess, well, he missed 4 plunderies. You could argue that should have been stopped. That was a difficult way to start. But yeah, he's in the side. Go take a catch now. I mean, really, Bharat should be able to bat because Rishabh Pant certainly can bat. So does Rahul. And Ishan Kishan can bat. There's only been 50 minutes to play here. Raj is definitely attacking the stumps. I'll get the old iPad. I got one slip now. I was showing this defending pretty well. So you got to give him that. Can't like him because of that, I'll tell you. Well, up, charge this. Shrikar, alright. 130 first class match, which is a lot. You get a good look at the person after 130. It's gone through. Having said that, ball's gone straight through. What's happened there? It's buys. So he's had 4 buys and another set of buys. He wouldn't be happy with his performance so far. Let's have a look here. Some good stumping would have got that, I'm afraid. That was maybe a bit faster, but did not glove that ball well at all. Barrett's obviously nervous as a keeper. He's let through some sundries there, which that last one probably was one that he should have stopped. Potential stumping as well. Barrett's not doing good at keeping. And he's a bit of a sloppy start. Potential run out there too. Two for 28 with Hayden, Dinesh Karthik, Mandrake commentating. There's a single letter lower change moves to 15. Smith 6. 2 for 29 after 12. Axel Patel. So, obviously A ground and Nagwal being used here. Warner's played 17 innings in India, Smith 13, Lyon 14. They're the most experienced. Khawaja, Labuschagne, only 1 innings. I didn't realise Khawaja only played the one innings in India. I didn't know that. Labuschagne won, Renshaw 8, and Hanscom 8. So they've obviously played it before. Alice Carey's never batted here. Cummins has played through Murphy and Boland. So, interestingly, Hanscom and Renshaw have actually batted more than Khawaja, Labuschagne's, well, even not Smith, but the others certainly. One of the decent batting averages. Smith was 60. The others have got 29, 28, 22. It was Labuschagne's first time he was 15. Smith's, Warner's was an awful special, having batted the most in here. Australia not looking that good. No, I would agree. You get these two out, and then we'll be in some pretty deep trouble. Clean bowling. Awful shot from Warner, really. Beautiful ball. Stumps went cartwheeling. The Indian batting lineup with Rahul, Rohit Sharma, Pujara, then Kohli would normally be called a good batting lineup. With Sky in at 5, Burrow at 6, then 5 bowlers. But 3 of the 5 bowlers are spinners that are more than capable of scoring runs. Siraj and Shami, not expected to and aren't that good, but that's okay. Warner's already changed his pants. He's assuming that they're not going to be out in the field today. Well, that's a bit of a call. Labuschagne's already faced 47 deliveries for his 15. Smith only 20, I think 20 on the dot. Alright guys, we're going to go another couple of minutes, I reckon. 2 for 29 into the 13th over. Divinutu was in fact the batting coach there for Australia. Michael Divinutu played for Victoria. Labuschagne working very hard, you can see. Clearly not much going on there. Okay. Thanks. Labuschagne's asking for another bat. Why you didn't come to India? We will love to see you covering matches from the stadium. It's like, look, I have wanted to go to India for the last couple of years. COVID stopped me, and then on top of that, my mother's passing last June. There's been financial issues that I've had to deal with here first, and they've come to fruition. They're about complete last week. I'm going to wait a few more weeks to get a few banking things sorted out, then I'm free to both afford and have time to go overseas for a long period of time. When I go overseas to India, I'll be there for quite a while. And then I'll come back for about a month and a half, and I'm going to hit England and India again. So I'm going to do this, guys. Just give me a little bit of time to sort things out, okay? I've got a big commercial break here. They must be on there. so-called drinks break, and Australia definitely have struggled this first hour. The 2 for 29, they were 2 for 2. It's mildly recovered, very mild. They can fall away. Those couple of weeks, normally you're going to go 4-0 down. So I think there's a good chance we'll go. It's a drinks break. I think we'll probably go. I'm going to assume 3-1. I don't know why I'm giving Australia a test match to win. I don't quite know when that's going to be. I think it'll probably be, it could well be 3-0, 4-0 now. Why? That is, maybe a draw will fit amongst it, but I can't see Australia winning any test. If they're going to persist with 4 bowlers, Cummins, Boland, Lyon and untried Murphy, effectively 3 bowlers of any note, and only really 2 that have played in Indian conditions, pretty light on with bowling, and they've got nobody else really who can bowl. So if Indian batters get on top of the Australian order, we're in trouble. But the Indian bowling lineup is a much more balanced situation because they've got 3 top-line spinners that are all able to bat and 2 top-line medium-fast bowlers who can already proven they've both bowled Shami, 1 for Warner, Khawaja, LBW, Siraj for 1. So, they're in a pretty good situation when it comes to bowlers, I must say. And they've gone upstairs to Rohit Sharma's the ball's just on the leg stump and continued on and taken the leg stump. Khawaja, was a good ball. Forget about spinners. The Aussies can't even play the bowling good. I think Kuldeep must be in the team. Well, yeah, what are you going to have 4 spinners, eh? He probably could do that. He probably could have Ashwin, Jadeja, Patel and Kuldeep. Hey, Tamir. Not sure what we're talking about them. So, Shami, Siraj, Jadeja, Axel. They've all. Jadeja's only had that 1 over. Axel's bowled 3. Siraj has persisted right through with 5. Only, I think, had 1 over when he was off. Ashwin yet to get a bowl, but we're only in the 30th over. Why not Head? Well, Head's not good in spin bowling. Axel Patel has certainly taken a lot of wickets in India. Well, certainly. What's the weather like in Australia? It's actually raining here in Sydney. Places like Patel, he'd put Kuldeep. Maybe we will make it instead of humiliating him. I think India are going to win this 3 or 4-0. Maybe 3-1, but that would be an extremely unlikely result. But Australia cannot win a test match with only bloody 4 bowlers. No team can. Is Warner performing early in Australia? Well, yeah, he's played well, a little bit well in other places, but he's mainly been in Australia. Yeah, you're right. Same with Head. Khawaja hasn't had an opportunity here in India before, but we'll see how he goes. But yeah, Warner is certainly looking more like a home track bully. For sure. 2 for 29. Into the 14th over here now. And Malali Conman on my link. Oh, if that is still even on, he would have probably been, Smith would have been out then. Did he know that when he played the shot? Okay, 14 into the 14th over here. Really dropping back to 2 and over now. So balls almost round arm. Labuschagne's been very competent. He's faced over 50 balls now for his 15. A lot of balls Labuschagne soaked up, I must say. Getting a little bit more aggressive there is Labuschagne. Siraj was fantastic. Shami was fantastic. Oh, now Smith's getting a bit adventurous there on the wicket, which Patel is half smiling at because that's very dangerous. And after 14 overs to do that, and then Kohli's being cheeky. Ball didn't spin at all. Smith's scratching around, you'd have to say. Labuschagne a little bit better. Sharmy's coming back on there, really throwing the bowling around a little bit here. They're tossing and turning a bit, and they've yet to. This is Sharmy's 5th over. Siraj already bowled 5. Only the 1 to Jadeja and 4 to Patel. I do like the way they are swapping and changing against it. Hopefully Warner will not play in Ashes. I think he's going to play at least until this summer. I think he's locked his position in, I'm afraid, until at least, well, a World Cup in later this year. They're just making a mockery of Australia's batting. They are a little bit. 2-3-9, if they can take it, so they've got Ravi Shastri, Ajit Agar, and Mark Waugh's commentating. I don't have much time for Mark Waugh. Okay. Do you think Marnus scores 25 plus? Well, he's on 15, he hasn't got very far to go. He might scratch around for 40 or 50, but it won't be. And he's putting in a big effort here. He's lasted 51 deliveries. Not really on top of it. A Sharmy squirter there might get him out. Coming on later today, guys, with both the likes of David Graven and Chris Vernon to talk about everything. This Test match, obviously, to talk about the coming up of the match between England and New Zealand. Australia could manage 250 today. Be a game at 250. Yeah, 250 will be a bloody good score, I would argue, on this ground. And the Indian batting lineup, look, they've only got a face 4 bowl. Do you think Aussie will score 54 at the end of 20 overs? No, I don't think they'll be. I don't think there'll be any more than 40 after 25 overs. I want to see Australia play go hard on. Yeah, they should do it, but they're not. Being ultra defensive, Labuschagne is very defensive here, and Smith is getting a bit frustrated and looks defensive as well. Inning summary, there's been 77 dot balls, 5 singles, 1 2, and 4 fours, but not off the bat. Well, 1 off the bat off the drive. Another one off through the slips. I remember 2. One was buys. The 4th one I can't remember. Into the 15th over here, and we're not more than 29. That didn't move as much. I actually didn't play any warm-up matches that could have really helped them. Well, they haven't had much time. They just finished a damn bloody series against... Who are they playing here? Who are they playing here? They got the bloody BBL rubbish. Let's be honest, some of them play the BBL rubbish. Yeah, you could have had a game and if they didn't play the BBL crap, let's be honest. But they were all contracted to that, so I'd had preference. Sharmy, 61 matches, 217 wickets, average of 27, strike rate of 50. Only 2 boundaries by Smith and Labuschagne. Yeah, it's been pretty ordinary so far. They spoke too early because Labuschagne has driven a cover drive for 4 off Sharmy. Two for 33 in the 15th over, so two for 33 after 15 overs. Finally a boundary, yeah. Well, it was a good shot. A fairly foolish ball, not much movement, and yeah, he played that pretty well. Slowly, Labuschagne is looking good. Well, he's 19. He's faced a lot of balls. He's faced 56 balls. Bit surprised they haven't brought Ashwin in soon enough. They given Axel and Jadeja. Jadeja had 1 over. Reasonable crowd there. Oh, I think we have a drop catch. I think that Virat Kohli has dropped a difficult catch at first slip. He's dropped Smith off Axar Patel and he's shaking his head, so he got a hand to it. Let's have a look here. Yep, he got his hand to it and it went fast, yes, but that was a keep. The first slip was catch. They might rue that Smith has been dropped at the score of 33. He's on 6. Remember that for later, guys. Kohli, it went fast, yes. But it went very fast. But if he, as opposed to snatch at it, if he'd given, well, it's 2 chances for. Is there 2 chances for Smith? But I remember I've only seen the one. Not sure what the other one was. That on leg side, was it? Axar does bowl his faster ball, but I should be wary of it. That really is a dismissal they would have liked to have gotten. It was hit hard, and he didn't give. He did. What happened there? That ball just stood up, and again the keeper's missed that. That's his 3rd blunder. Day 3 will be a spinner. Will it favour Australia? Well, it's all about how well Todd Murphy bowls, because Lyon will be giving his best and Boland will be solid, as will Cummins. But Australia do need a 5th bowler. I'm sorry, I keep saying this, but they need a 5th bowler. Well, that's another error. It did bounce awkwardly, but a keeper in India who knows the condition should know that can happen. All right, so 2 for 35 after 16 overs. Well into the second hour now. Labuschagne on 19. Smith hasn't moved from 6 for some time. Axar Patel, a drop catch. Okay. Keeper is not looking confident now. He's okay, but the person that's keeping for your country, who's been judged as good enough, should have nerves of steel. Norman, I think that Matt Renshaw and Peter Handscomb are big wickets. Well, that bounced, and it was poorly kept. That even though it bounced, he snatched at it. He let the ball. He give the ball. And the same with Virat Kohli's catch. Yeah, that was fairly ordinary keeping. It was amateurish looking. I'm sorry. That was not good keeping at all. Okay, it bounced, but you should have rode that up. Or used your chest instead of... These 2 can survive to lunch. That's a pretty good effort, considering where they were at. Wait a second, guys. Let's see what we can do here. Can look at a situation here where realistically 2 for 35 into the 17th over. Labuschagne's gone to 20. Smith 6. Jadeja's come back on the bowl. He's 2nd over. No sign of Ashwin at this point into the 17th over, but there'll be plenty of overs coming from Ashwin, I'm pretty sure. Just a matter of waiting and seeing when he'll come on. Smith facing Jadeja. A bit more air being shown from Jadeja. Smith's been a bit more adventurous. Clipped it over mid wicket. It's gone into an area, a gap, and it looks like it's going to make its way to the boundary. Smith moves to 10. A little more freedom in that. Yeah, Jadeja did give him a bit of room. It wasn't a great shot, but it did. Smith stuck at 6. Well, he's not stuck at 6 anymore. He's on 10 now. Wasn't the greatest of shots. Mesh is retracted. Well, you were not totally wrong. Yeah. 2 for 40 after 17 overs. The 50 is looking more likely now after 20, but we'll see. Smith 10, Labuschagne 20. 30 runs plus the 2 singles to Khawaja and Warner makes 8 sundries. And permanently biased, which is not good. So we've got a user here is watching from hospital. The ball kept straight. That came straight on, big time. Axel's a good bowler. He bowls a much faster pace now. What he had a drop catch at first slip. No, this is Jadeja bowling. Yeah, Axel on his bowling. Okay. World Cup finally, it should still feature these two sides. Late cut there from Labuschagne. Kept very low though. Wasn't the ideal shot to play, but oops, that went through. We've got some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 14. 14, the Barsh is what, yeah. Smith on 10, Labuschagne 24, scored 2 for 44 after 18. So look, I think we mentioned about 50 runs being scored by the 20 over mark. It looks like that's on the cards. Jadeja's staying on from the other end with Patel, and he gets the ball. David Warner is just a walking wicket. Well, in India recently, that was an awful shot, by the way. It was nowhere near it. What was the length there? Jadeja is a known wicket taker. And he can bat, score big centuries, and feels probably the best fielder in the Indian team, if not the world. A bit more aggression might be the go, I think. Jadeja bowling a lot more, he pushing the ball through. Smith's getting better. I'm sure. 66 balls. It's a lot of balls. Two for 44 after 19 overs. So someone said 50. Pretty close. India have distinctly got more bowlers. Ashwin, Jadeja, Patel, Shami, Suraj. 5 frontline bowlers. Australia have 4. Lyon, Boland, Murphy and Cummins, and 1 on debut. Boland's first time in India. There's only really 2 bowlers that have bowled here before. And that's not what I would call a commendable bowling attack. And really, Hanscom, Renshaw, David Labuschagne and Smith can't be relied upon to be the bowler. Okay. All right, so after 20 overs, which it's about to hit, I'm going to have a break. I've been on 2 hours for 2 hours. The score is 2 for 44 into the 20th over. Okay. I've done the preview where Australia won the toss, elected to bat with Bharat, Sky, and on the Australian side, we had Todd Murphy all getting their caps. So Bharat, Sky, Murphy getting their caps with head being dropped. Okay. Head being dropped. And in India's case, Shreyas Iyer or Shubman Gill were the ones kind of dropped. And Rishabh Pant being injured meant Bharat came in, so Australia have dropped head. And they go for Hanscom, Hanscom and Todd Murphy on debut. So that's the story. I've got 1 more ball to go and we're 20 overs and I'm going to finish this live report. And we've had a good 2 hours, guys. Akshar Patel, he's ready, had a Smith dropped at first slip by Kohli. A catch that should have been some very sloppy keeping from Bharat so far. And that looks like we've hit 20 overs. 2 for 48, Labuschagne on 28, Smith on 10. And I'm going to call it quits now, guys. So don't forget to view, like, and share the posts. Subscribe. Send on to all your people in your network to subscribe. Tim Ward also doing well. Cricket. Debashes behind you. Always have great knowledge. All right, so all the best, guys. See you soon.